The United States' long-standing policy of providing weapons to Israel has been a contentious issue for decades, sparking intense debate and scrutiny. Many argue that it's time for America to reevaluate its stance and stop providing weapons to Israel, and for good reason. The primary concern is the disproportionate use of military force by Israel against the Palestinian population. The Israeli military has been accused of numerous human rights violations, including the use of excessive force against civilians, home demolitions, and restrictions on movement. By providing weapons to Israel, the U.S. is complicit in these actions and perpetuating the cycle of violence. The U.S.'s unconditional support for Israel also undermines the peace process and any hopes for a two-state solution. The continued supply of weapons emboldens Israel to maintain its occupation and settlement expansion, making a peaceful resolution increasingly unlikely. The Israeli government has consistently shown a lack of commitment to the peace process, and the U.S.'s military aid only reinforces this stance. Furthermore, the U.S.'s military aid to Israel comes at a significant cost to American taxpayers, with over $3.8 billion allocated annually. This funding could be better utilized for domestic programs or humanitarian aid elsewhere. Moreover, the weapons provided by the U.S. often end up being used against Palestinian civilians, including children, women, and unarmed protesters. The use of American-made weapons in Israeli military operations has led to numerous civilian casualties and human rights abuses. The world has witnessed the devastating effects of these weapons in Gaza, where entire neighborhoods have been reduced to rubble and innocent lives have been lost. By continuing to supply weapons, the U.S. is effectively condoning these actions and undermining international law. In addition, the U.S.'s policy of providing weapons to Israel contradicts its own values of promoting democracy, human rights, and freedom. The Israeli government's treatment of Palestinians is fundamentally at odds with these values, and the U.S.'s support only serves to perpetuate injustice. It's essential for the U.S. to re-examine its policy and consider the moral and ethical implications of providing weapons to Israel. Instead, the U.S. should prioritize diplomacy and peaceful resolution, supporting organizations working towards a two-state solution and promoting dialogue between Israelis and Palestinians. By doing so, the U.S. can help bring an end to the cycle of violence and work towards a more just and peaceful Middle East. The international community is calling for change, and it's time for the U.S. to listen and take action. Let's work towards a future where human rights are respected and peace is possible for all.